Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Soft again from the showoff.com. Don't forget, download it from Google Play, Apple Store, DUHSHOWOFFZ. Go get that. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Trying to get some more views, trying to get some more people on here. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend as you go, and then that friend could tell another friend, and remind them again to tell another friend. Anyway, today's topic, you hear everybody talking about in the news today, in the YouTube world, where they're talking about the feds and people going to the feds and new stories coming out and people digging in papers and all that stuff. All that stuff is public. You go to your Pacer account, you get that Pacer account, look up people for their names and stuff, and all that stuff is public. What I am going to tell you is if you ain't been to the feds and you heard stories about the feds, don't talk about it. Let a person that was in the feds talk about it. Because all these made up stories and stuff like that, people's gonna believe what people's gonna believe. But let the person that was in the feds tell the story. Personally, I took a little vacation. I was away for a while on vacation, and they call it Club Fed for a reason. It ain't nothing like the states. Me, I can't talk about the states because I wasn't in the state. I could tell you about the county. I could tell you about the state county, and I could tell you about the Fed County, but I can't tell you about the state because I don't know nothing about the state because I ain't been there. I can only tell you about the stories that I heard, that I've heard, that I've heard. Personally, been on vacations in the Feds. So they talking about people and stuff like that. Feds play dirty. They do play dirty. And the closest person to you will play you dirty. So, and I tell you that from experience. If somebody I know for 20 years sat on the stand on me, I took the feds to trial. They sat on the stand on me and pointed the finger at me over a bullshit conversation that I was playing softball and tell my dad. It was like, Dad, go get the two balls to go start the game while I was on the phone with the CI that they had. This knucklehead turned that while I literally playing softball. This knucklehead turned around and testified against me. Said that conversation was a drug conversation, knowing damn well it wasn't. Feds pay dirty, and when they come get you, they already got you. Don't matter what you had before and this and that. Or if they raid the house or raid you or go get you and they find other stuff, that's just adding on to your case. They already got you. Somebody already told on you. Somebody already gave wiretaps on you. They did the wiretaps. They told on you. They had surveillance on you. And you never know. I could be right now in the studio right now and I could have somebody with me and thinking they cool and everything, but they can have a camera on them, listening to everything, watching everything, and seeing everything that goes on. You don't never know. Could be the closest person to you. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of stuff in there. I seen where they put a new person coming in that knows somebody. They put them in the same cell, and that person turns around, calls the DA, and be like, "Yo, got some information for you." I've seen all that happen. I've seen people go in there and known people from the street, like, "Yo, that nigga cool," and this and that, turned out to be a rat. Well, let's not say a rat because that's not a nice name. Let's call him a star. Spell rats backwards. You'll see what it says. It's a star. They a star. They a star in their own story. And then they wonder. Then they wonder why people talk about them. So yeah, there's paperwork out there on people. Go find it. Go to patient, find out their stuff, and then go find it. But if the feds come get you, just lay down, just be like, all right, just take it on the chin. I wasn't trying to take it on the chin. So what I do? I went to trial. Oh, let me tell you about the proffer. There's stories about them proffers, and whoever been in the feds, they know about the proffer. But know that the U.S. Marshals can't give you over to the agent unless you agree to it. You physically has to cross that line if you agree. I got woken up before going to court, and I knew I was going to court maybe 2 months down the line. They took me down to go try to proffer. So there's a line when you open the elevator in Philadelphia. It's called a yellow. It's called a green mile. It's not green. It's white. The fucking tunnel is long as shit to go to the other side from one building to the other building. They take you in the tunnel. That's a true story. They take you in the tunnel. You walk over to the next building, and they open a door. The U.S. Marshals cannot hand you over unless you agree with them, and they gotta sign papers because that's a chain of custody. They can't unless you agree. So I tell the marshal, I was like, listen, I don't want to go talk to nobody. I'm going to trial and that's it. I ain't talking to nobody. And the marshal was like, oh, you don't want to go to nobody? All right, as soon as I open this door, you tell them you ain't going nowhere. I'm going to close the door and send you right back up. What happens? Exactly what happened. They open the door. Them people on the other side crossed that line. They was like, oh, come on, soft, and this and that, boom, boom, bang, bang. I was like, man, I ain't going with y'all. I'm not going with them. What marshals do? Close the door, start walking back on that white mile. Walk all the way back, took me back upstairs to my room and everything else. So if you agree to it, they're gonna go. But it's a chain of custody. U.S. Marshals don't work. The feds is not all the feds. It's all a chain of custody. Everything is a chain of custody. And people talking on them toilets and all that shit. Man, you don't know if the other cells got the mics on. Because, people talk through the toilets. That's their form of communication, to talk through the toilets upstairs, downstairs, wherever they want to talk to. All that happens. All that happens. You don't have to go with them. One, you don't have to go proffer. Two, don't talk. The best thing you could do is go into the law library and see what's going on in your case and look up codes and codes and stuff and see how you can get and fight your case. Because your lawyer got many clients. You're not his only client. You're not paying him $200,000-$300,000 so you can be your only lawyer. He has other clients that are in that federal system, even in the state. So you have to do your homework and make sure it makes sense for you. I went to trial, but I looked up cases. And what did I do? I took some of their cases, put my name over it, and used their arguments and gave it to my lawyer so he can argue that too. You have to argue on case. Y'all think y'all sitting there and it look pretty and this and that. Ain't as pretty as y'all think. Because just know this. They say 12 months. You be like, all right, I'm cool. I'm doing a year and this and that. When they start hitting you with 270 months, 255 months, 360 plus, add those months up. You really gonna know your time. You gonna know your time when you get up there. You gotta fight. You gotta fight for everything. Whether you take a C plea, open plea, whatever plea you want to take, just remember what it is. Because when they're in the feds, they got you. Just know they have you. And whatever somebody go in there and tell, even your cellie, you got to hide your paperwork from your cellie. Because your cellie can read your paperwork and call the DA and be like, yo, I got some information for you. Because they read your paperwork and from what you told them the story. You gotta keep your mouth shut. Feds don't play smart. They play dirty. They play for their advantage. Because niggas want to tell, they still going to jail. They ain't going home. They want to tell and think it's cool to tell, but then they send them to a different jail or they'll send them to like a different state or something because they thinking nobody going to say nothing. When that paperwork party come out, show your paperwork. Show your paperwork. You know what it is. Y'all already know, whoever been in the feds, they know about the 5K1, They know about the 3652, something like that. They know about all of them. You read all that. That third party shit, people helping for third party help and stuff. All that stuff is real. We hear stories, but I lived them stories. I lived them stories. I've been in there. I was in there with people that are known. I was in there people with gangsters. I was in there with gangsters and killers, and guess what? They turn around and tell. They turn around and tell. So the way I see it, if you tell on your case, you told on everybody that didn't tell in there. That's the way I see things. That's the way I see it. All them people that and all them people that talk about, listen, if you wasn't in the feds to know the story, don't talk about it. You gotta be in there to know. You gotta be in there to know. Your name might be something in the street. Don't think it's gonna be something in there. You gonna get the respect that you get from the street. Cause when I went in there, niggas, they already knew who I was and how I was coming in. So, they already knew. When you go into your jail after you get sentenced, no, they already know where you coming, if you working, if you didn't work. They already know all that stuff. But they already know your name and everything, where you from, what set you from, where you from, whatever. They already know. And plus these high celebrities that be getting locked up, people already know who they are. People like me, nobody know I'm not a celebrity, so they don't know who I am. But when you from a neighborhood, people know you from the neighborhood, and they know you from the neighborhood. So when you go in the feds, they already know you coming from this set, from this neighborhood, and you're known. So when you go in there, you all right, and you stay clean, and that's the way it goes. But watch your friends. Just like out here, they'll betray you. They'll definitely betray you in there. You would definitely get betrayed in the feds. I don't care who, what, when you are. You would definitely get betrayed in the feds. So all that time that you think, you like, oh yeah, I'm only facing 10 years. Yeah, I can knock it off and this and that. All right, well, knock it off then. Because once you're Shelly, the guy you eat across from you start telling, them 10 years off the table, they going to go somewhere else. You going to get more time. Because now they adding to it. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes. I seen best friends fight each other. I seen it with my own eyes. Oh, this get even better. Them niggas that are in there that worry about their females, man, your life is over. You's a fool. If you go in the jail, in the feds, any jail really, but in the feds, and you worrying about your girl, let me say something to you. 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 at night, when them phones go off, your girl might not be home. Your girl might be out partying, going to the club and this and that. You will never know. How you gonna know? What you think? You gonna get a phone call and call anybody? No, it don't work that way. Trust me. Y'all hear stories and stuff, but when y'all in there, y'all really know the story. Feds is easy. You can do the time because once you dug in, you do anything. Because you adapt to every situation that you in. When you adapt to a situation, you're going to ride smooth. But just be careful who your friends are. Because in reality, you ain't got no friends in there. And that's a fact. Because you ain't got no friends there. Nowhere near you got a friends. Be careful who your friends are in the feds. I mean, I don't wish nobody to go to jail because, I went through it. Nigga sat on me, testified on me, point the finger at me. Nigga that I know him for 20 years. I know him for 20 years. Nigga just stuck the finger. I was like, yeah, I know him. It's him right there. That's him right there. They don't play fair. They don't play nowhere near fair. And when the feds got you, they got you. Even if you go in there by yourself, you ain't gotta have no co-defendant. They don't give you no co-defendant, so it's just you by yourself. You really gotta watch who your bunkie is, your celly or whatever. Because the feds might have him in there trying to get something on you because you're the only one in there. So they trying to get somebody to put on you. You really got to be careful. But when it's like 8, 10, 3, 4, 5 more than you, then you got to be careful too, because either way, you got to be careful. Because they're going to try to get you. If they came to get you, they will already knew what you're doing. They know where you live at. They know what you're driving. They know what you've been doing. They know how much money you got. They know all that shit. Every little bit of it. They know all of it. When you went out to a bar, party, and this and that. But I'm going to tell y'all something. For those of you that on that pre-trial stage, read your paperwork. When you read your paperwork, it says date, it says time, it says place. So if you was at a restaurant, it'll say, look, at this date, at this time, he was at a restaurant and he met with an unknown male, unknown female, this and that. And put your story together. And then you'll know who's going to be telling on you. Because they have everything. They know everything. Your Brady and your Jinx is going to tell you everything. I don't remember which one comes first, whether it's your Brady or your Jinx. But they're going to come. One comes before trial and one comes when you get locked up. Your lawyer have all that stuff. You tell your lawyer to give it to you. You start looking over it. Read it. Read it. Read the whole thing. It's going to give you a time, a date, a place, where, what time of the day, where you was at, everything, what you was driving, what you was wearing, everything is in there. And then who you were speaking to, who you knew was there, who you speaking to and stuff like that, you'll know everything because it's in there. You might get a 400-page indictment and only 200 pages make sense because the other things is repeat. They just change the words and repeat the words and stuff like that. It's the way it goes. And then you're going to get 300 charges. And them 300 charges, they just going to add shit up, run it down. And them 300 charges might be 10 charges because they put it all together. You got guidelines for that shit. When you go to guidelines, that's what it is. So you can't go below the guidelines and you can't go no higher than the guidelines. You go higher because you fucked up. But you can't go below the guidelines unless you get that, you know, that helping letter that they give you, prosecuting help. Keep your circle small when you in there, buddy, because that's the way life is going to go with y'all. Anyway, that was it. I'm out. Just letting y'all know. Download DUHSHOWOFFZ. Also, click the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you want. You don't like what I say? Leave a comment. You like what I said? Leave a comment. But don't forget to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.